Hello students, I am Sonia Vijayanandan, Training Officer from NST Chennai. I welcome all of you to today's class. Today we are discussing about the planning for instructions. A good planning for instruction is required for a good instructions. For that, different planning have to be done for theoretical and practical sections. And today we can discuss about the theory classes, how to take a theory class for the trainees. For that, we have to discuss about the lesson plan in detail. Lesson plan is the guidance plan for the instructor, that it helps to conduct classes and to teach a subject in sequential and methodical manner. That means if you want to take the class within a prescribed time, you have to follow the planning. And it is a plan for action and contains the important information to be imparted about a lesson. And that activities have to be done according to this plan itself. And if we are planning the instructions carefully, it will be a better class. Next, what is the necessity for planning a lesson? The instructor must teach the lessons within a prescribed time, and he have to follow as per the sequence of the lesson plan. And also the instructor must be self-confident to take the class and to answer the questions whichever raised by the trainees. Advantages of lesson plan. First point is organization of the subject. Next, much time saved. Next, work is done in a planned manner. Then selection and utilization of suitable teaching aids properly. Unnecessary teaching is avoided. Suitable atmosphere is created. Lesson plan form the record of teaching, learning, activity. In detail, we have to go through all the points. First, organization of the subject. Organization of the subject means the instructor have to select the suitable topic according to the trainee's requirement. Then next, much time saved. That means we have to discuss about the important topics whichever we have planned within the instruction. No need to go for the unnecessary points through the class. Then next, work is done in a planned manner. Everything, all the timings we have to be pre-planned, just like asking the questions to the instructor, and we have to examine the trainees whether the results given by them is correct or not, like that. Then selection and utilization of suitable teaching aids properly. We have to prepare the teaching aids such as wall charts, then slides, then film strips, like that. And according to the requirement of the class, we have to show or use that one in the appropriate places or the suitable locations to make clear about the topic to the trainees. Then unnecessary teaching is avoided. Then only we can complete the topic within the proper or the prescribed time. Next, suitable atmosphere is created. That means there must be not any obstacles or distractions for the class. Then only the trainees as well as the instructor can conduct the class properly. The next, lesson plan form the record of teaching, learning, activity. That means once a lesson plan is created related to a particular topic, it is a permanent record. And if any change or updations in the syllabus is there, then only we have to update the corresponding lesson plan. Next is 4-step method of teaching. The 4-step method of teaching is originated from the German philosopher and educationist Herbart. The 4 steps are preparation, presentation, application and testing. Next, in detail, the 4-step method of teaching. It is a natural sequence of teaching. It is principally based on the laws of learning. Just here it is a graphical or a diagram for the 4-step method of teaching. It shows all the 4 stages: preparation, presentation, application and testing. And this diagram shows the activities of the teacher and learner in this process. And this Dotted lines or shaded region shows the learner's activity and unshaded region shows the teacher's role. The next in detail about the preparation. What are the points to be or what we have to do in the preparation stage? This stage includes both instructor preparation as well as trainees preparation. Preparation of the instructor deal with the title of the lesson, specific teaching objectives, preparation of teaching aids, review of previous lesson, appropriate motivation, choosing of teaching method, planning for trainees participation, time and feedback activities, proper summarizing, assignment and test. And also we have to prepare appropriate teaching aids such as models or the real or the actual things and written instructional material, etc. In the arrangement of classroom, we have to arrange proper seating of the trainees, then adequate lighting and ventilation must be there, and also about the trainees preparation. Before giving an information, a new information to a trainee, we have to prepare them for grasping the new idea. We have to motivate them. We have to make interest of the trainees, make them interest to get the new topic. Next, presentation. According to these steps, the instructor should present the subject before the trainees in a logical, systematic and efficient way. The instructor should begin teaching of the lesson slowly after giving an introduction of the lesson and after associating with the subject or lesson already taught. The instructor should ask the questions from the trainees in order to know whether the trainee is understanding the lesson being taught. During this step, the following points should be kept in mind. Follow the lesson plan, develop the topic in a logical order, make use of the teaching aids such as wall charts, models, actual objects, chalkboard and other audio visual aids effectively. And use questions to stimulate the learner's thinking, check the understanding and to develop the subjects and encourage the students to ask questions. Next, in the application, when the trainees have attended the knowledge, it is necessary to show that we have to know whether that knowledge is get in the proper way or not. The trainees have to practice the theoretical knowledge gained and then make that knowledge permanent. The instructor has to ask certain questions from the subject matter whatever the instructor have taken. Next, application. He has to guide, correct and encourage the learners in telling the correct answer for the questions. In this step, the instructor has to apply the law of exercise for the perfect knowledge. That means the proper questions must be given according to the topics taught. After completion of question answer section, the instructor has to summarize all the topics but emphasizing the key topics. Summarizing must be done. The overall summarizing must be done with the topics which are taught in the entire class. And in test, it is the step by which the effectiveness of learning will be measured. Teaching will be completed when the test is conducted only. The result of this step will help the instructor to decide whether this teaching was effective or not. That is a proper feedback system. Then test can be conducted by giving or assigning questions of the subject matter covered in the class. And during this step, learners will answer to the questions by written answers, drawing diagrams and also solving problems as their own. Different methods we can follow. We can give the ask the questions orally or give them some assignments, written assignments and drawing diagrams also we can give them for testing. The instructor has to apply the law of satisfaction by which they will get interest for further learning. Next, this is the format of lesson plan which are having the sections. First, the details of the trainees have to be filled here including the name, admission number, unit, trade like that. After that, the preparation section is there. there we have to give the title, then after that objectives is there, then we have to write the aids, teaching aids used, then introduction part is there, review, then motivation, then presentation, application, summary, test, assignment and the next lesson. In detail we will discuss about this. First step is the preparation. In that title section we have to write the appropriate title for the section. It must be clearly mentioned. From the title we have to know what the topic dealt with. The next objectives. The objective must be clearly stated in terms of what the learner is expected to learn from this lesson, and there must only be 3 or 4 objectives. That means if we are giving more objectives means we cannot complete that within the prescribed time. The objectives must be sufficient for the learner to be completed within a period of 45 minutes to 60 minutes. This is the time duration for a lesson plan. Next, teaching aids. While preparing the teaching aids, that must be useful for the trainees for better understanding. The teaching aids such as chart, models, actual objects, slides, films, film strips and by other manner which should help the learner to see listening to the instructor. The instructor must make sure all these items are available and ready in the class before starting the lesson. They have to prepare and before starting the lesson they have to make it ready, all these teaching aids, and they have to use these teaching aids in the appropriate places also. Next, introduction. This is the stage at which the learners are prepared for the lesson of the day. The introduction can be done in different ways. 5 types are there: revisionary or review, anecdote, then analogy, topical and shock. Reviewing means we have to review the previous sections. Anecdote means just we have to tell a story. We can connect our today's topic by telling a story like that. Analogy means we have to compare some items because the new topic is not familiar to them. So we can compare it to some other things which may be understandable to them clearly. The next, topical, we can relate our today's topic to the related items which are existing in the world or in the classroom or anywhere. The next, shock means it also an incident. If any incident is coming into your mind relating to the topic, you can explain that incident to them with the real world things. The next, review. Make the learners to be ready or prepared to receive the new lesson. Then discuss the important topics of the previous lesson. Write some small questions about the previous lessons to make sure that the learners have remembered what the instructor taught in the previous class. If the lesson is a first lesson in a class, instead of linking, discuss about the relevant knowledge gained by the learners. Next, motivation. Motivation means creating the interest or willingness of the trainees to attend the class. Suppose a trainee is physically present in the class, it not mean that he is mentally prepared for getting the or attending the new class. So we have to make them mentally prepared by giving some interesting stories or motivation like that. Next, presentation. In the presentation, in the format we have seen that there is topics and information points. In the topics you have to mention the importance point of the lesson so as to reach the aim or fulfill the objectives of the lesson. The main objectives what we have written, that we have to rewrite in the topic section in brief. This has to be written in sequential order. That is also one important thing. We have to write it in the sequential, in the proper order. Next, in the information points, write the brief information of each topic properly. What are the topics you are written, corresponding to that you have to write the information point in brief. Then information may be written in reference to the objectives. And also while preparing the information points, we have to go through the objectives also. According to the objectives, we have to write the information points. Then what is spot hints? Enter the spot hints in the appropriate places. Write hints such as codes, symbols and symbol diagrams, and hints also includes the use of teaching aids, chart, models, slides at appropriate places indicating as if the wall chart, if you want to use a wall chart, you can use W bar C or C. And if you are planning to ask a question, you can write A bar Q or a question mark can be mentioned. So, while going through the lesson plan, an instructor come to know that at the place that you have to ask some questions or you have to use the corresponding teaching aid. If it is a slide, means you have to use the corresponding or the appropriate slide in that location. Next is the application. In the application stage, we have to ask questions to the related topics. That is, after that you have to receive the answer also, you have to reward the answer. You have to check whether the answer is correct or not. And if it is correct, means you have to reward them as saying as good, very good, excellent, like that. Then repeat the answer. If once have given the answer, you can repeat the answer, like that the others can also again they can recollect the information. Clarify the lessons learners doubt also. We can clarify the doubt of the trainees. Then interact with them regarding the topic we have taken in the present class. Next, summary. Emphasize and reinforce the points which are important to the lesson taught in the class. Whichever the topic discussed, we have to stress the important points and make reinforce in their mind. Main points of the lesson may be written under summary. According to the objective, what are the main points we have discussed, that we have to write in the summary section in the lesson plan format. Next, test. Comprehensive questions about the lesson taken should be asked to the learners, and this can be done either by oral or in written form. You can give assignments related to the topics. They can submit it in a separate assignment format. Then assignment. Write a series of questions about the lesson already taken. Related problems, exercises, drawing of sketches can be given. You can give some problems to them, or you can give some diagrams to be drawn as the assignments for the trainees. The next lesson. Title of the next lesson to be taken has to be mentioned. A brief insight into the next lesson must be given to help the learners to think ahead. That means before concluding the section, you have to discuss about the next lesson which you are going to present. Then if you are presenting that next lesson, they will be well prepared for the new topic for the next class. In today's section, in detail we have discussed about how to prepare a lesson plan. For a theoretical class, how an instructor prepare a lesson plan, and the main sections are preparation, presentation, application and test. And finally, we have to tell about the next lesson also. It will create the interest of the trainees for attending the next section. I hope all of you enjoyed the section related to lesson plan, and the next class we can discuss about a new topic, and thank you.